Okay, Jack, just to recap on what we did on your short game today. First of all, the positive note, things are a lot better than they were. But at the same time, we definitely need to work on that idea of the pace of the swing. As we discussed in the session, there needs to be an element of work, and the majority of the work needs to be on you trying to discover what you can make a golf ball do once you get within 100 yards of the green. That's got to provide the foundation of all the work you do for this season and going into any other season you play. So the foundation of all the work you do, irrespective of what you do mechanically, that'll change over the years, but what you must do is have the foundation as, what can I do with a golf ball? What can I make a golf ball do? That's going to provide much more imagination in your practice and get you thinking in terms a little bit more of the overall pace of the swing, getting you away from mechanics. Your mechanics can be as good as you like, as we discussed today, and that's of no relevance if your feel for pace isn't as it should be. So, various things we can do, playing from different lies, chipping comps if you've got a partner there on the range, and then also just to get you away from golf as such, do that tossing of the ball to the hole, get a better feel like you were doing today on the green of, where your attention is it on the speed of your swing, is it on the mechanics, which it obviously isn't, and also where is it on the spot where you want to land the ball, or is it like we discussed today, once you've identified that spot, putting it a little bit more on your target. So like I said, you know what you've got to work on when you go away. So if we have a little look at your technique and where things are breaking down, the one on the left that we look at first, we're seeing that a pretty straightforward pitch shot. We're trying to send it out a little bit lower, and as you know, we've been working on trying to get the wrist to soften up a little bit, and as we take it back, starts off nicely. You can see the wrists are starting to soften a little bit at that point, but then the width starts to come in, the wrist pack up, the backswing gets a little bit short, very little wrist cock at that point, and now from there we've got to work all the time. And we can see at this point now the body sort of susses out that this isn't going to be a powerful enough move or a long enough swing to get that ball to go the desired distance, so the legs start to kick in to try and give it a little bit of extra oomph at the bottom. Now, obviously that wasn't a particularly good shot, and I know it's not going to be pleasant to keep watching it, but if I play that through in slow motion for you, you get the idea of where your swing or where your technique is breaking down when you're under pressure. You get a little bit too short, and then the body's got to get involved to make up for the lack of length in your golf swing. So we need to get those wrists involved much earlier, line those up in the takeaway. As we view it from the back, from down the line, we can see that as the wrists are passive, the club works inside too much. You can see they're working inside, which is going to result again in a swing that's a little bit too shallow. You can catch that shot a little heavy. That particular shot you hit very well, but you can see again, these are just tendencies that are going to lead to bad shots under pressure. So if we bear what we've just discussed in mind and watch Tiger, we're going to see much livelier wrists. You see how quickly he elevates that golf club. There's a definite setting of the wrist. He's not relying on width, he's not relying on powering that shot with his body. It's about a 20-yard pitch shot. That's very similar type of shot to what we're seeing with yourself here on the left. But there's a complete contrast in technique. And the drill we discussed of setting up with a ball about 3 feet away from a wall and teaching yourself to take the club back without hitting that wall is probably the best drill you're going to find for the problem you're looking at there. So that's just to sort of outline, where things are going to break down when you get under a little bit of pressure. And at the end of the day, that's what we're building towards. We want that pitching technique and that chipping technique to stand up to the more severe pressure we're going to face. Okay, so it's food for thought. Good luck out in Spain, mate. Get stuck in. Keep working hard at it. You're making good progress. There's just a few niggly little things that need to get put to bed before the start of the season. If you do need anything between now and when you get back, send me an email or send me a text and we'll get straight back to you and give you a lift with it. Good luck, mate.